Welcome back. It's game night. If I didn't see you earlier, happy Friday. It's the weekend. We're excited around here because it's the weekend. All right, let's see who's with us. It's game night. All right, so earlier today, we went live about 2 o'clock Eastern time in the afternoon. It was a good conversation. Good conversation. And I said I never wanted to predict what we're going to talk about because things pop up. So it seems like after that live ended, a story broke regarding the NFL that the NFL was found guilty of collusion. Collusion is when people conspire behind your back to do something and they have the advantage over you. So apparently, when it comes to the contracts of veteran quarterbacks at that, there seems to have been some collusion taking place between the league and teams involving guaranteed contracts. But what I found most interesting is the quarterbacks' names that were mentioned in the story today. Now, it's not saying that these are the only quarterbacks. It just mentioned these three. And light bulbs started to go off. The first one, Russell Wilson. I'm like, whoa, okay. Immediately, the Sean Payton situation comes to mind, how they're trying to say right now that he's washed up, but it looks like he might end up in Vegas with Shedeur. That's where Shedeur goes. And I'm thinking about the treatment towards Russell Wilson and how it seems like Pittsburgh is supposed to be parting ways with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. I'm like, oh, okay, so maybe this is a little light bulb right here. And I don't know how long this collusion case has been going on, but the result came out today. Now, everything is sealed in terms of the details, but what could be talked about is both sides could reveal the result. So the actual details of the collusion, we won't know the details. We just kind of know the result and what is surrounding. So Russell Wilson is the first quarterback mentioned in the collusion case regarding veteran contracts and collusion between the league and collusion between the teams, the league and the teams. The second one, Lamar Jackson. I'm like, whoa, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. This is starting to kind of make some sense. I'm like, Russell Wilson, you know how he was treated in Denver. Lamar Jackson. And the third one is Kyler Murray. Now, Murray didn't make it to the playoffs, so we don't know what's going on with Kyler Murray. I rarely hear about what's taking place down in Arizona. But I do find it very, 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 very interesting that the collusion case, I don't know, the NFL Players Association was representing the players, of course. And then, of course, you have the teams, but then the league seems to have inserted themselves and colluded with the teams against the players. Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, and Kyler Murray. I'm like, there's a pattern here. There's a pattern here. And the behavior surrounding, Lamar Jackson and how, people hate on him for absolutely no reason. And y'all see how Russell Wilson has been treated, especially in Denver. It just kind of makes you go, So the result was, yes, there was collusion. That was the result. Collusion was found. However, it was also found that there were no damages done. So yes, the league and the teams colluded to try to keep the players, the veteran quarterbacks, with their contracts. But on the flip side, it's like, well, we didn't find any damages. The more and more, I told y'all yesterday, the more and more you start to look into something, the less you begin to like it because you get to realize how it's pretty, it's not, how it's kind of ugly on the inside. So I wanted to start off with that. Let me say hi. Let me see who's in the chat. Welcome. Making sure y'all hit the like button for me, please. Gracie, hi, Gracie. Welcome. Regina, welcome. 22, welcome back. It says, guess what all of those quarterbacks have in common? And two of them, we know for sure. Well, Russell Wilson, we know there's been something with him. We saw the way Sean Payton treated Russell Wilson and how he was moved to Pittsburgh. And now Pittsburgh is saying they got to get rid of Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. I'm like, and y'all know how Justin Fields made the scapegoat in Chicago, but look what happened to Caleb Williams in Chicago. So we were talking the other day, and I said I want y'all to put a pin in the dual threat quarterback because that conversation is going to come back. Here we are. Here we are. I'm like, man, see, the rise of the dual threat quarterback has given way to the rise of the black quarterback in the NFL. And this year, with this draft class that everybody keeps saying is underwhelming when it comes to the quarterback, it's supposed to be where the tide turns to majority black. So when you see, Lamar Jackson, dual threat quarterback, and I think Caleb Williams is dual threat quarterback. Of course, Jalen Hurts, most of them are. And then you got, Shedeur coming in, and then you got Cam Ward coming in. So it's a little bit of light was shed. They have one thing in common, and Russell Wilson, we see the treatment he was getting. We see how he was being treated. And after the whole Pittsburgh season or whatever, I noticed how like outlets were starting to say he's washed up, he's this, he's that. And I'm like, why are they talking about him like that? And Lamar Jackson, that missed catch. And I said, does Baltimore want to win with Lamar Jackson? So apparently the Players Association and the teams are going to square off again because the teams want to go to 18 games a season. And that's wear and tear on the body. Like right now, I think I read off a host of injuries for Philadelphia. And so they want to go one more game in addition to all of these, playoff activities, etc. So the league is asking of much of the players, but it seems like when it comes to the players, they have to end up in arbitration to try to get remedy. And even then, well, yes, they colluded, but there were no damages. So no harm done. Come on now. So this is why I support the players. This is why I support the players. And I will continue to support the players because it can't be easy working in an environment like that. And, as we pointed out, all three, quarterbacks have a lot in common. So welcome. It is game night, but I wanted to start with that story. Before we get into our game, does anybody, I was like, if y'all want to do Q&A, we can do Q&A. If y'all have any questions, just put them in the chat and we can start the game and we can answer the questions in between. All right. So the game is culture tags. And this is essentially what you have to solve. If I could get somebody to type these letters that you see on the screen into the chat, then I'm going to share the clues for you to guess the tag. All right. Got it? Okay. All right. So first one up. Okay. The category is daily sayings. So this is something you would hear someone say all the time. And it's typically a compliment. Like when you see somebody and they look snazzy, they look good, you might say this, like it's a different way of saying, okay, now, I see you or whatever. When I grow up, I might want to, so I don't want to say it, but if I can get somebody, let me see if I can get somebody to type this in the chat. IJTBLY. So like I said, it is a clue. It's a daily saying. Let me see this. I have to do it. IJTBLY. All right, let's see if I got it. Oh, let's see. IJ. All right, so that's the clue. That's the first one that we're trying to solve. And yeah, so it's a daily saying. It's something you say. It's like something typically, like I hear women say this. I don't know if men say it, but I know women say it to each other. When you see one woman, it's a compliment. And she looks nice, you might say this. It's another way of admiration, of expressing admiration for the way somebody looks, dresses, carry themselves. Like if somebody does like a good accomplishment, instead of saying good job, they might say this or whatever. So I'm going to leave that there and we can go on to the next topic until somebody solves it. All right. So I told y'all earlier, I had a topic that I wanted to discuss. If you on YouTube, you might see something that says YouTube community. It's a feature that YouTube is testing. It's in beta testing. And it's kind of like our own little IG just for what she said. It'll say what she said community, what's on your mind. So it's like a mixture of Facebook and Instagram, but it's specifically for the channel. And then y'all just get to go. You can just go in and post something. I don't have my phone, but you can just go in and post something. Like if you want to say, happy Friday, or, if you just want to say, guess what just happened, or breaking news. I just heard, like if y'all want to tell us something we can talk about later. All right. So in that, in the community, in the post, I posted about Justin Tucker. He is supposedly the all-time best kicker that the Baltimore Ravens of all teams. Yeah, I keep coming back to Baltimore. The Baltimore Ravens have had. Now, before I go there, I know on this channel, I don't even think it was 2 weeks ago, we were on this podcast. And I don't know what we were talking about, because I told you, when we on here for 3 hours, it's normally some gems. Hey, Kiel. Hey, Kiel. Welcome. We put the clue right up above. It's LJTBLY. It's a daily saying. Something like when you want to compliment somebody. To me, I typically hear women say it. All right. And I'm going on to the next story. So, I know on this podcast, it hasn't been 2 weeks. We got on the subject of Deshaun Watson. And I said, if you were on the ground in Houston, it was suggested and widely discussed that the reason he was exposed, that's the term I'm using intentionally, he was exposed was because he wanted a trade. And the reason he was upset about DeAndre Hopkins being traded was because apparently there was supposed to be some type of agreement where the front office would include him in these major deals, because this is who he throws to. So it's supposed to be like they're going to include him in a decision, and they just made the decision without him. And he was upset about it. And of course, by then he wanted out. But then when he wanted out, lo and behold, here comes this story. And it goes from one person to this person, but it involved a masseuse. And apparently athletes get this type of treatment all the time. So y'all know how that went. It was talked about. It was talked about in Houston for sure, relentlessly. And I bet if I go right now to maybe Twitter or YouTube, I bet I can pull up videos about it and look at the comments to see what people were saying. And what I said, and it's recorded because we talked about it not 2 weeks ago, I said, I don't believe he was the only one. I think I actually said, it's been said that he's not the only one. And I'm talking about Deshaun Watson wasn't the only one. He was the one they chose to expose. And people, I'll never forget, during that time was like, Deshaun Watson must have forgot who he was or who he actually is. And when you get involved with things like that, that's something they can hold over your head to keep you in line, even though you're not the only one to do it. And somebody pointed out in the comment section earlier, because people want to know, why is nobody talking about this? Because when it was Deshaun Watson, it was everywhere all the time. That's all you heard about. And it seems that, people are saying the way it's being carried out is not fair, because like this guy's married. And the first story I saw after, and the crazy part was, I got the notification from a UK publication, not an American publication. Power of global communication, right? So I'm reading the story. I'm looking at the publication to make sure I'm reading this right. I said, I just said it. Deshaun Watson was not the only one. So this guy's married. Been married since 2015. And the second story that comes out after what he is alleged to have done is, and it's disgusting. It's worse than what was said about Deshaun Watson. It's disgusting. And it's crazy that the second story to come out was about his wife. who is so-and-so's wife? I was like, why are we bringing his wife into that? So I didn't want to post that. I just posted about him and I said Deshaun Watson 2.0, but this one is worse. And it is. And it's funny how they don't want to talk about it, but it's worse. It's actually worse. And just like I said about after Deshaun Watson, when we were talking about it 2 weeks ago, he wasn't the only one. And here we are. Here we are. And he's not the only one either. In fact, somebody posted in the comments that the owner of one of the teams, is it the Eagles? Who is Kraft? I think he's the owner of a team. I don't know if it's the Patriots, the Eagles. I don't know. But he was involved in a scandal with massage parlors as well. I remember that. There was a big one down in Florida involving some other people pretty high up. And these situations come out and they go away. And the one in Florida, it came and went because it involved, like, it was widespread about like a lot of people way at the top. And it did involve an owner of a team. And I think they even said the private jet was used and this, that, and the other. So this was before the whole Diddy scandal. And that came and went. Now this situation looked like it's about to be the same. Comes and goes. Of course, I vehemently deny I would never do such a thing. I'm like, brother, if you did this, and even if you get away with it, you see how it affected Deshaun Watson? It's going to affect you the same way too. Because you can't just walk around in public after people read this type of behavior, and, I was trying to look to see if it had been said, if he was banned from some certain establishments, because I heard that earlier, but of course I want to confirm it. But, of course, he lawyered up. Of course, you got to lawyer up with something like that. Deshaun Watson lawyered up as well, but there's just more and more and more, and they just keep coming. They just keep coming. So people are asking, for the most part, why aren't the like ESPN talking about it? I'm like, well, they got their own problems because, you saw what happened at Fox, right? You see that came and went, and the people are still right there. And then the next, they tried to get on, somebody tried to put Stephen A out there. And it was supposed to be Stephen A's girlfriend. And that came and went, and she accused Miley, and Miley's still sitting right there, looking at the camera. I was looking at her today. I said, okay, her facial expression is essentially telling me Stephen A must have put the other woman in check, and Miley ain't going nowhere. Because it's supposed to be like his sister. That's what I thought. So that came and went. And now this story is coming out, and it seems like they want it to come and go, but the public is upset because they're like, hey, when this was Deshaun Watson, this was everywhere all the time. This is all that y'all could talk about, and the way he was treated by the team afterwards, and eventually, traded off, this, that, and the other. The Ravens don't want to make a comment about not too long ago. The NFL say they're going to look into it. They got their own problems. I just told you they've been found guilty of collusion. So I don't know how seriously they're going to look into it. And it don't matter whether they look into it or not. Like, this is a legal issue at this point. So it's just a whole lot of stuff like that cropping up. But his case is actually worse than Deshaun Watson. So you would think that the things that he has been alleged of, I don't think it was the same. I think he took it a step further. I'm sorry. I think the allegations are a step further. I'll say it that way. But I don't know. Y'all can let me know your thoughts, what you heard, what you read, or whatever about it. But, and how you feel about it in comparison to Deshaun Watson. Is his allegations are worse than Deshaun Watson? And, for somebody to say that, and it's supposed to be like 6 masseuses are involved. And one lady I read, she said, I've tried to talk to people about this, but they just thought it was a joke. So let me read these comments and see what's in here. It says, let's see. The brothers might need a clue to solve this one. Oh, okay, Kiel. All right. So, all right. It's technically a compliment. I'm sure guys say it to guys, but it just sounds like something women say to women to me. And it's something you say to somebody when, like, instead of saying good job or you look cute, or you did that, you this is what you would say. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. I'm gonna hold it up just in case so you can look at it. Okay, I'm gonna give you a clue. I'm gonna give you the first one and the last one. The I and the Y. The I is I. I am. I am. I apostrophe M. I am. The last one is you. Y'all got to get it. Y'all got to get it. Kiel, I hope you got it. I hope you got it. So it says, yep, you said it. I did. I said it. I just said this not 2 weeks ago. It probably was early. Well, let me see. Today, Friday. It wouldn't be surprised me if I said that Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, or Monday. Because we were talking about something, and I think Queen T was in the chat at the time. And somehow we got on the subject of Deshaun Watson, and then we started, that's what we were talking about. And I said he wasn't the only one. I was like, it's been said, he wasn't the only one. And here he is. And I do find it very interesting that he plays for the Ravens. I find that very, very interesting. And then Lamar Jackson is the quarterback named one of the quarterback contracts that came up as part of this collusion case. That's also Baltimore. Very interesting. Very interesting. And the first thing I thought when I read the story, I said, oh, I wonder if he wanted a trade. That was the first thing I said for the reason that this is coming out. Mind you, this is going back to 2012. So it was his rookie year. It was 2012. And it happened, it said a year after he was married, which is 2015, which again, I don't know why they brought the man wife into it, put her out there, showing pictures of her. Like if she wasn't in on it with them, I don't know why you would put her out there like that. And I was just thinking to myself, see, Deshaun wasn't married. He had a girlfriend at the time, but she didn't get dragged. Matter of fact, he still got the same girlfriend. He didn't get dragged. She didn't get dragged into it. This man's wife is pictures being put everywhere. I don't know why we're talking about who she is and how he met her. And putting out that he's married, what that does not absolve you from that type of behavior. That's why I felt like they were trying to say he's married. He would, like, as if that mean he wouldn't do something like that. I'm like, come on now. So, and they said one of the masseuses was pregnant at the time. The lady who said she tried to tell the story to people, every time she did, they kind of laughed it off. They either didn't believe her or they thought it was a joke. She said it was very degrading. And when you go and you read, here's what I don't understand about this whole masseuse thing, okay? Whether it's Deshaun Watson or Justin, is it Justin Tucker? What you're asking someone to do when you are having an intimate moment, and that's how I'm going to say it, I don't think they would instantly just run out the room. I think they'd be like, oh, hell no. But I don't know the kind of people that work at places like this. They might not have a lot of options. And see, when you like sometimes when you go to certain establishment, it's a lot of immigrants there. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Like if you go to the nail salon, depending on the city you in, it's a lot of immigrants. I don't know how much option they have to just get up and walk out if something like that happens. So it makes me wonder if that's why we keep hearing these kind of scandals in the sports world with these situations, because it's almost like you're preying on people who don't have a lot of options. So I remember the Deshaun Watson case. It was said that he alleged that he was flying people to and fro for this service. So I don't know. I don't know. I just know that this one seems like they're trying to excuse it because he's married and not talk about it. On the facility, people in the comments were like, why y'all not talking about this situation? Guess what they were talking about, though? Coach Prime. That's the only reason I was watching it. They were talking about Coach Prime. And I was like, and people in the comments were like, why y'all not talking about the Justin Toucher? That's what they were calling him. They were like, why y'all not? I knew who they were talking about. And it was men. It was men. They were like, why y'all not talking about this? So, yep. I'm trying to be just like you. Yay! You got it. You got it. Moana. Oh my God. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm glad you came back to join us. Look at, that's the first one. All right, Moana. Good job. Good job. Okay. All right. And it says, Kiel said, New England Patriots owner. That's him. Oh, that's the Patriots owner, Robert Kraft. Wow. Okay. All right. Gracie said Robert Kraft owns the Patriots. Okay. It said 2 establishments in Baltimore ban him. What? From coming to their facilities anymore. Ooh. Yeah, that's gonna be hard to beat. Because the question is, and I'm gonna say this as scientifically possible as I can. He better hope that the liquid he left behind has not been preserved on a towel or a sheet, because that's in the article. Because that's gonna cause him a problem. Now remember, this 2015, 2012 to 2015. I can't figure out. This is 2025. What's happening? And they said it wasn't that they filed a police report and the police went to him. I think, remember the lady, the masseuse, who said she had been talking to people about it, trying to get somebody to help listen or whatever? Well, she found somebody. Guess who she found? A reporter. A reporter who was investigating the story broke the story. So he better hope and pray. And they said one of the poor ladies was pregnant at the time. I was like, oh Lord. So, you know, he got some high price legal people, but if he's been banned from some places, then something, well, there's smoke, that fire. That's what I'm gonna say. All right. Thank you for that, Keo. I thought somebody said that, but I wanted to see if it was out there. It said, yes, the reporting that I heard did say that he was banned from some places. Wow. Okay, so he was. It said, I'm gonna watch that story and see how it plays, because my first thought is the double-edged sword is gonna come out. I think it already is, Gracie. I think they already going down that path of he's married. He wouldn't do something like that. To me, that's the only reason why you said who so-and-so, this is so-and-so's wife. And they did a whole story on her. To me, that's called spin. And it's like, and then somebody said this is what she looks like. I'm like, who cares what the woman looks like? That's not what this is about. I guess they're trying to say she's pretty, so he wouldn't do something. That's where I think they're going with it. She's pretty, so he wouldn't do something like that. I'm like, okay. I'm like, whatever. Kiel, you looking, you trying to guess? Are you trying to guess the puzzle? 22, it says, once again, they set him up because J.J. Watts was the one that introduced Deshaun Watson to the masseuse. What? They're going to sweep it under the rug because it's two different laws for the different players. Wow. Now, all this time with the Deshaun Watson story, I never heard that little tidbit, and I heard a lot. Wow. Okay. So he got introduced. Okay, that's interesting. So here's I'm not gonna ask, why would this come out in 2025? But the lady in the story, she did say, it was the New York Post. That was the second. I think I've read 3 different articles. A UK publication, something else, and maybe Newsweek, and then the New York Post. I couldn't read the New York Post. It was so many ads everywhere. I'm like, can I read the story? So the lady who gave the story to the New York Post, I think she must be the one. She said she had been talking about this, and people laughed it off, thought it was a joke. So she got somebody to listen. And that's what she got, a reporter. So that's why it's coming out in 2025. It said he better hope that there's no DNA specimen left behind. They said he did leave some, but what they do with it, I'm thinking they don't have that. I'd be shocked. Now, the only way is if he went somewhere else with that behavior and they kept it. That's what, Kiel, that could be a possibility. Because to be banned from places like that, you're pretty bad if you banned from places like that, I think. That's what I think. But all right. It says, yes, I tried to solve the puzzle. All right. Well, Moana did a good job. Moana did a really good job. All right, let's go on to the second clue. Then we're going to talk about Coach Prime and the facility, what they was talking about today. I like Chase Daniels when he reviews film, but when he gives takes, they're not fair and balanced. And we're going to talk about that. All right. Okay. This is one. Okay, you see it? If somebody can type the letters in the chat, IHFI. All right. If I gave you a clue on the last one, then you ought to be able to get this one. All right. So let's say somebody invite you. Say, hey, would you like to go bowling Friday at 3? It's all expenses paid. We'll have a limo come pick you up, or what they call it, a sprinter come pick you up. and so you don't have to drive, yada yada yada. You like, okay. Instead of saying yes, sure, heck yeah, this is what you say. All right. I feel like this one is easy. I feel like that one is easy. All right. All right. So let me see. Okay, I guess I'm gonna type the so yeah, it's not a lot of people talking about the guy's story, but that it doesn't change anything. I keep telling people that if you notice, like with Deshaun Watson, like I think it feel like it took him a long time to move past that. The story had to go away. I'm sure it had to be a situation where when he went to a public place, they didn't know who he was. So, a lot of time has to pass for something like that to come out. But what I was saying a few on the podcast not too long ago, that Deshaun wasn't the only one. And I'm going to say it one more time. He not either. Nope. And, that's all I'm going to say. It seems to be a regular treatment. I don't know who pays for it. I don't know if they get an allowance for it. But, it seems like they can go about getting a masseuse however they want, but it seems to be some type of thing that happens. It's like a known activity that happens within the league. And I know when it came to Deshaun, I remember saying, I said, I bet $10 they knew. And he not the only one. Now, that was way back then when it happened. I said that. I said, I bet they already knew. And they just used this against him. So for what Kiel is saying is that somebody introduced him to so-and-so. Yeah. And see, that's why these guys have to understand something. You might be in the league, but you're not one of them. And this is how you know. You're not one of them. Yep. Moana, you got it. You got it. You got it. Oh, you thought it was high? Did you think it was high 522? Is that what you thought it was? Now, I like the clue though. I like the clue. Moana got it. She like Daniel. Last time, if anybody was on last time we did game night, Daniel came into the chat and was like Moana, just guessing all the answers. All right. So now we're going to go on to our next story. All right. So today, and I wasn't expecting this to come about, but I saw the headline. Should Coach Prime be able to dictate where Shedeur goes? I said, okay, this is going to be good. So, Shady McCoy, Emmanuel Acho. Now, Acho, he seemed like the moderator. He didn't have much to say on this one. It seemed like a debate mostly, and the guy James didn't either. It was a debate mostly between Chase Daniels and Shady McCoy. And again, I said this on the podcast that I had earlier. They're talking about Shedeur should go to the Jets because it's like the number one market. So the Jets is supposed to be the number one market, and Dallas is supposed to be the number one market. And they're like, Shedeur should want to go to the Jets because he can make a lot of money. I'm like, they talking about you can go out there and the work that he does out there will get noticed more and he'll blow up. I'm like, one, Shedeur already has star power. Two, he's already wealthy. So three, he gets to choose. And remember the Manning family? And for anybody that really doesn't understand that Arch Manning is at UT and his family is going to be instrumental in where he goes. And if it's a terrible team like the Panthers, they're not going for it. If it's a horribly run organization, they didn't go for it with Eli Manning. They didn't go for it with Peyton Manning. They're not going for it with their with Cooper Manning's son. They're not going for it. So they're saying, and so Chase Daniels is essentially saying, no, Coach Prime shouldn't have anything to say because what did he say? Oh, what kind of father would intervene like that? I'm like, what? Like, hello? You do know you play football, right? And that's when Shady McCoy said, the Mannings. He said, so Shady McCoy did some research. He already knew off the top of his head. He said Jim Kelly. He said Bo Jackson. He said Bo Jackson, I think the Bucks wanted him to go there. They was going to try to play him. So he's like, nope. He talked about, he got the same agent as Tyreek Hill, Drew Rosenhaus. He said when it came his time, they wanted him to go somewhere crazy. He was like, Drew was like, no, we're going to get some money out the deal. We're going to say you're not even going. So saying no is a possibility. See, everybody doesn't know that because when Caleb Williams was at USC. I don't know. Do y'all remember the conversation surrounding Caleb Williams? He was on his way to a second Heisman before the team went left. And something about his dad said Caleb could go back to school another year because he had like $10 million in NIL or something like that. And people were upset. Well, his dad is gonna, how's his dad gonna say where he's gonna go? Because his dad didn't want him to go exactly where he went, Chicago. His dad didn't want him to end up, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in a dysfunctional organization where his son's career will go to die. And where are we? What was year one like? So I heard somebody say the other day, Ben Johnson is bringing in these different coaches, and he brought in this particular quarterback coach. And somebody was like, he hadn't been a quarterback coach long because he's going to fix Caleb Williams. I'm like, didn't he win the Heisman? Wasn't he going to win a second Heisman? He don't need to be fixed. Fix that organization. So to me, what these analysts on these big box shows cannot do is be transparent. They want to keep saying, oh, Shedeur should go to New York, to the Giants, because he'll get star power. He already a star. And did you say the Giants? You overlooking one detail about the Giants. Yeah, okay. So they don't talk like that. And then Chase Daniels is, maybe they play good cop, bad cop, but he's like, how can Coach Prime intervene? He said, look, I lived in Dallas when Coach Prime played for Dallas. So, I like Coach Prime, but I just don't see how he should be able to, to dictate or interfere, whatever. I'm like, so everybody else was like, he's protecting his son. And I said, you know what people don't talk about? Coach Prime played in NFL. He knows the NFL inside and out. And given this collusion case that just came down today, and the quarterbacks that's involved all have one major detail in common, and it's the amount of melanin in their skin, he know what he doing. Coach Prime know exactly what he doing. And to me, to listen to Cam Newton spout off about Shedeur should go to New York because he could do this and whatever, and then for the facility to come behind him, even though it's on like associated with Fox, and essentially say the same thing, I'm like, so we gonna sit up here and pretend like the New York Giants have actually drafted or had a black starting quarterback. They have never, ever had a black starting quarterback. I'm pretty sure it's not a coincidence. So they're gonna make Shedeur the first one. That's what is being said. And recently it was said they're not even looking at him no more. And so, I don't know. But that's what I noticed about the big box shows, like the Justin Tucker situation. They won't talk about it. Now it took Cam Newton to bring it up on ESPN because he went in on Emmanuel Ocho. He did this week. He was like, well, you didn't say nothing about what happened over at Fox and you over there. I was like, okay. He wasn't going to say nothing. So, these big box media outlets not touching Justin Tucker. They're not talking about that, but they want to sit up and ponder if Coach Prime should have some influence on protecting his son from some of these vultures, these vulturous type front offices that are dysfunctional. And for former athletes to say, oh, he should go to New York because it's the number one market, 21 million views, even whether they win or lose. Okay. It's starting to sound like people are saying because the Giants and the Cowboys are worth billions, that it's okay for them to lose year after year after year because they have those fanatic fan bases that's going to show up anyway. Is that what y'all getting from it? Because that's what I'm like, wait a minute. As an athlete, I thought that these players want to go play and that they want to win. I didn't know. It's like they're giving the impression that the organizations are okay with losing. Therefore, the players should be okay with playing there and losing. I disagree with that. I think Saquon Barkley wanted to win. I don't think he just wanted to collect the check. I really think Saquon Barkley wanted to win. I think Malik Neighbors wants to win. I know Shedeur Sanders wants to win. Anybody that's throwing the ball and gets hit at the knees, and when they hit the ground, all they're trying to hear is if the crowd is cheering because that means the pass is complete, is a competitor, and they want to win. Shedeur already has star power. He's already wealthy. So the best fit for him is not the biggest market with the worst losing record. It's a team where he can go and get a championship. Wouldn't y'all agree? Let's see what's in these comments. Kiel, Kiel, you putting your head down because you didn't get the Moana came and answered the question. I'm gonna assume that's why you look like that. Moana laughing. You did. You came right in and kicked the door in and said, of course they did falsely accuse him. He innocent. Folks, mama, what are you talking about? Who's innocent? Please tell me what you're talking about. I don't know. Who innocent? Justin Tucker, Deshaun Watson, or the Giants front office? Let me know. And thank you for coming back and hanging out with us. You family now, so. And y'all know we get ready to start having private live streams. So I'll talk about unfiltered. The only reason these live streams don't blow up is because the title says one thing and we talk about that one. We start talking about other stuff that is buried within 2 to 3 hours of conversation, which works for me because ain't nobody trying to sue me. But I make sure to be very careful. So Kiel had his head down. It says, is this going to be like Archie did with Eli? Because it's a lot more to this. Because Peyton is supposed to be drafted by the Chargers. Right, Kiel, right. So essentially, they understand why the Mannings would interfere with Eli. Oh, that's what Chase said. He said, well, Peyton, and they were like the guaranteed number one pick. So, the number one pick get to choose. So, Shady said, hold on. He said, so you saying the number one pick can choose. Remember, Caleb was a number one pick, and they gave him grief about having the option to choose for himself. So Shady was like, we didn't know they were going to be good. Just because you come out of school number one doesn't mean you're going to be good in the NFL. He said, and we didn't know, and that's what Chase was saying. Well, we don't know if Shedeur is going to be good. That's what he said. And that's when Shady was like, he had notes. He said, no. He said, because we didn't know if Eli was going to be good. He said he won championships, but nobody ever said that he was like that. I was like, well, that's true. So it was a good debate, but I just don't understand Chase Daniel's thought process sometimes. Like, I really like his YouTube channel when he breaks down film, because it does seem when you watch the film, he has the ability to be fair. But when he has these takes, they just so not. They're just not fair at all. I mean, I don't understand. If he was in the NFL for 13 years, wouldn't he want to protect his son? And then somebody made the comment, I think it was a guy, James. He said, well, I agree and I disagree. He said Coach Prime would take away Shedeur's ability to be the number one pick. I'm like, Shedeur don't care about being the number one pick. Like, the things that they care about are not the things that obviously Shedeur care about. Shedeur already said he didn't care about the pick. So I don't know. Maybe, like I said, the headline is what drew me in. But I feel like Shady won the debate because the Mannings did pick. He also said Jim Kelly pick. He said John Elway pick. Bo Jackson choose. So he said, if that's something your father wants to do for you and be instrumental and he's prime time, why shouldn't he? And I'm like, well, that's true. But on the flip side, when Caleb's father tried to say, well, Caleb might go back to school for 1 year because I don't want him to go to a bad organization, they was all over him. And you see Caleb went to the draft because they were like trying to figure out how were they going to like reprimand him, drop him down, because they were like, well, they probably just not going to draft him at all, this, that, and the other, because he had made $10 million in college. So it's like the league was essentially had to flex his muscle when it came to Caleb. But when it came to the Mannings or when it comes to Shedeur, I don't understand why. Well, I do. It shouldn't be a question. Yes, Coach Prime is instrumental in this young man's life. He has been in the NFL. He knows how it works. So he going to make sure his son goes to a place that will respect his talent. Look at the Giants letting Saquon Barkley walk. And Saquon telling him, I think, Kiel, you told me that. I think maybe it was somebody else that said the GM for the Giants told Saquon Barkley he could test the market. And I did read. I told y'all the other day, I thought I read somewhere where Saquon Barkley had 2 other offers and he chose for himself. He chose Philly. And that's where they want Shedeur to go because it's the biggest market and they want to totally act like the front office is not problematic. I'm like, didn't the GM, Kiel, you a Giants fan, didn't you say the owner put the GM on notice that he got a year to get this together or get on? Like, I mean, a year, that's generous, actually. After Saquon left, he should have left too. It says, is this, yeah, so it is going to be like Archie Manning and the Manning family. And they're going to do the same thing when it comes to Cooper Manning's son, the grandson, Archie Manning, going to do the same thing. I heard somebody say, I really like him because he's loyal. He chose to stay at Texas and not leave like some of the other players do. Trying to knock players for going to in the transfer portal to go into another university where they can get an opportunity. He's Arch Manning. They tried to get him to start this year, but Sarkisian actually had to put it like, make the statement, Quinn Ewers is the starter. And I was thinking, I said, I wonder if that's why they gave Sarkisian a 1-year extension, because they like, we want to see how you going to do. Because if you don't put Arch out there, we going to get rid of you. And one of the reasons Arch Manning said he went to Texas, he liked Sarkisian. He liked the coach. And so he gets to choose for himself, you know, but they got guardrails to make sure he don't get hurt by someone else. And because he said Texas used to be great and he want to get them back to greatness. That is extreme confidence right there. So they already have him predicted to be the number one QB in college football. And somebody said, one of the podcasters that cover the Buffs, they said it's amazing how when it comes to Arch Manning, it's no argument, no fight. Yeah, he the best, and he hasn't. We don't know if he is or not. They just gave it to him. But when Shedeur is proven coming from Jackson State, he still doesn't get in the top 5 of the Heisman. But they are already trying to give it to Arch Manning. I'm like, hey, Miss Mel, welcome. Hey, Queen T, welcome. What's the topic? Let's see. We on topic 3. We started with so let me do a recap right fast. For one, is game night. We have had 2 puzzles to be solved. Both of these to be solved by Moana. She just, I think it's a she, just kicking butt and guessing all the clues. We started off talking about, the first topic was the NFL today was found guilty of collusion. Colluding with the league. So the league and the teams colluding together to try to prevent guaranteed contracts for veteran quarterbacks. The 3 veteran quarterbacks named in the article, you should be able to guess one. Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, and Kyler Murray. And 22 pointed out what they all had in common. So that was the first story that we talked about. And then we went on to talk about Justin Tucker. That's the guy that's in a similar situation as Deshaun Watson. And we talked about how the story, they look like they're trying to bury it. Whereas with Deshaun Watson, when it was going down, it was everywhere, every day. It was talked about nonstop. I'm probably gonna go back to YouTube, pull up Deshaun Watson scandal, and videos come up, look at the comments, and it'd be all over the place. But with Justin Tucker, it's like because he's married, they're trying to use that to say he's innocent because he's married and his wife is pretty. So they're trying to spin it as if to say he's rich, his wife is pretty, he's married. These allegations are false. So that's where we are. And then the third topic was the facility, Chase Daniels versus Shady McCoy in a debate over whether Coach Prime should have any influence on what team Shedeur goes to in the NFL when he gets drafted. That's where we are currently. Let's see. It said, let's see. I'm going back and looking at your comments. Hold on one second. Moana said, Chase seems like he doesn't care for the Sanders. Am I reaching? I can't tell. No, you're not reaching. You're not reaching. I can't figure out what side his bread is buttered on. That's the saying. It's the country one, but it's the saying. I can't figure out what side his bread is buttered on because, you know, his takes are just, he's not an outwardly biased guy. He doesn't appear to be. And but his takes, it makes me look at him and go, now, where you get this from? Because it's like the take with Coach Prime. He's like, no, Coach Prime shouldn't have. It's like he totally forgot that the Mannings existed and played a part in Peyton and Eli's where they going, where they went in their careers, and what teams they went to. It's like he don't. That's why his takes are weird. Either he don't know his history of the NFL, or when you ask him a question, he's not thinking past today. He's not thinking historically. He's thinking, oh, Coach Prime shouldn't be able to do it because nobody else has done it. He didn't say that, but that's the way he positions his comments, as if Coach Prime is the first person to be able, as a father, to try to dictate where his NFL son should go. And that's when Shady McCoy had to remind him that not only did the Mannings do it, Jim Kelly did it, John Elway did it, Bo Jackson did it. So of course, Coach Prime can protect his son. But his takes don't seem to have historical context. And I like him because I watch him break down film, and he has sense. I just don't. That's what I think it is. When he answers a question, he doesn't bring the historical context to factor in to his response, and I don't know why that is. That's called being short-sighted, but I don't know. Anyway, so we're gonna have to give it a little bit. I'm gonna need somebody to go into his DMs and see what kind of person he really is. Other than that, he just lacks historical context. That's because when he talks about the quarterbacks, like, he likes Lamar Jackson, I think. Like I said, I watch him break down film, and he seems partial and fair when it comes to, like, the Bills. Like, he pointed out, now remember, he played in the league. He's an alum of the league, and they still have connections. He wasn't afraid to say that it was interesting, and nobody else talked about this, that Josh Allen was in the middle of a play on third down trying to convert to the next one or whatever, and he was pointing to the ref, hey, this holding over here. He was the only one that pointed that out. So he doesn't seem to be afraid to speak out like some people are. Like, they're not going to say nothing against the Giants. They're not going to say nothing against the Cowboys, whereas Stephen A will be honest about the Cowboys. And Chase seems to be a person, he know how to toe the line. He not going to say nothing bad about the players, but, maybe because it's Coach Prime, he not in the league right now. He don't feel any retribution. That's what I get from him. Like, he understands when to push and when to back off. But his takes don't have any historical context. Because if he was in the league for 14 years, how does he not know the Mannings had impact? Archie Manning had impact in his son's career. I don't know. Hell, I feel like he had an impact in Cooper Manning's career. Like, most people don't know. After Cooper got hurt at, I think, was it Ole Miss or Mississippi State? It was Ole Miss, Mississippi State. After he got hurt, he ended up with a podcast. So then he's an energy trader in Texas. So, and they have a restaurant in Caesars in New Orleans. That's not easy to get. It's not easy to get. So they have some influence. Chase didn't have historical context. It could be because it's Friday and he just want to leave, but he didn't think that through before he responded. And he didn't keep arguing with Shady. So it could have been good cop, bad cop. All right. It says, I'm gonna post that so other people can see it. It says the situation, this is Kiel. The situation with Peyton was different. Ryan Leaf, number 1, number 2 quarterback on the Chargers draft board, but they took Ryan Leaf because he had a stronger arm. They should have taken Peyton. I thought they said the Mannings was like, we're not going to the Chargers. That's what they talked about on the facility today. They said that was the Chargers situation was one that they were like, no, we're not going there. So that's why they took Ryan Leaf. That's just what they talked about today. I wasn't there at that time, so I don't know. But it wouldn't surprise me if what they said is true, that Archie Manning, I mean, as far as I know about Archie Manning, that's before my time. It's like that man, he just, whatever it is he want to do, he's like he the godfather of the NFL, even though he's not. But that's the type of reverence that he has when it comes to what he wants. And I don't think it's just the NFL from what I could see. So, from what they said on the facility, his sons weren't going to the Chargers. That's how I would see it. So, Gracie said, and I would feel some type of way knowing Coach Prime knows the go on behind the curtain if he didn't step in. Exactly. But that's the thing. I don't know who they is. Okay. I can't figure out, like, the GM for the Browns. He said, I don't think Coach Prime will interfere. I'm like, well, one, you probably going to get that pick to the Raiders anyway. So there's nothing for Coach Prime to interfere on. But I think it's a small minority of people who have some biases, who don't want Coach Prime to, one, get what he wants. I mean, they didn't want him to go to Colorado. It's not like the media was on board. They didn't care when he was at Jackson State. They did not care at all. ESPN rode the wave. But then when he go to Colorado, that's when everything changed. Oh, I don't know if you could do that. Well, we don't know if Coach Prime going to be able to recruit. We don't know if he's going to be able to do that. We don't know if Shedeur going to be able to do that. They never said much about Travis. But when it came to the Sanders, it's Shedeur that can't do whatever he want to do. Shiloh can't be, good at football. Coach Prime can't choose for himself. He can't choose for his sons. And in my opinion, they felt the same way about Caleb. Caleb's father said he did not want Caleb to come out next year if he was going to a bad organization, and all hell broke loose verbally. How could he say something like that? The NFL not going to draft your son, this, that, and the other, because they can choose for themselves. That's what the problem seems to be. That Coach Prime can choose for himself, that Coach Prime has clout. That if Coach Prime get both of his sons in the league, there were people that were trying to compare Shiloh to Bronny. And do you know AI already had an answer for it? I said something about, is Shiloh getting drafted or going to the NFL? And it said Shiloh is more ready than Bronny James was. I'm like, why is this an answer? Why is this an answer? I mean, who really? Come on now. And honestly, I was going to talk about the Bronny situation. I can't figure out, because I'm not watching basketball right now, what's really going on. Like, I get it. He might have struggled at first. And then right now, supposedly the team was giving him, the opposing team was screaming, "Goat, goat, goat." Some people said the audience was like making fun of him. And then some people said the Lakers team can't appreciate him. And I was thinking about how hard it must be for him to try to carve out his own set of shoe footprints and get out of his father's shadow, but then struggle at the same time with the sport that you really want to get right, because he might really want to play. I did question if Bronny really, really wanted to play. I questioned one time if Shiloh really, really wanted to play, because I know Shiloh, understands it's the family business. I did question his passion one time. I did question Bronny's passion, but for people to think Shiloh and Bronny were on the same level, like, that's insane. As if to say the only reason Shiloh would get to the league is because of Coach Prime. Shiloh's actually good. That's what people keep choosing to ignore. He's actually good. And when it comes to Bronny, people choose to ignore this young man had a cardiac arrest. Like, that's life and death. That is not easy to get over it. And I, for one, am shocked that he came back as quickly as he did. I don't, I mean, imagine being traumatized. And if you don't think having a heart attack is, they kind of called it a cardiac event, but that's a heart attack. If you don't think having a heart attack is traumatic, ask somebody who had one how long it takes them to get back to their normal routine of doing something that makes their heart race. It's scary. So to me, I feel like the media was the people, the fans, not necessarily the media. The fans, to me, were worse. Saying it was just nepotism, as if, wasn't one of the famous Laker coaches, the son, Walton, wasn't his dad a coach? Luke Walton, it wasn't his dad a coach? So nepotism runs all through the NBA in the front offices. But when it comes to the players, the GOAT, LeBron James, his son can't play. I hate to tell him, but Bryce coming right up behind him, and he's a baller. I dare him say anything about them. And it's like they try to pick his kids apart and make Bryce be, Bryce is better than Bronny. Bronny had a cardiac event, but they don't want to talk about that. And that's what I don't like. And to me, they try to tear down Shiloh the same way, because these people can choose for themselves. They can put their kids on, which is what you're supposed to do, by the way, which is what I bet if you go to the front office of any organizations, this family running all through there. So, all right, I'm going to post your comment. All right. But yeah, I would feel some type of way, Gracie, if Coach Prime didn't step in. That's like people keep asking, did Coach Prime try to talk to Travis? He should try to talk to Travis. I'm like, Coach Prime to try to talk to Travis. Travis want to do what Travis want to do. He coachable on the field. He not coachable off. People really thought, oh, Coach Prime, you should do something about that, as if he didn't try. And he tried. So, it said that's why they didn't go, because Peyton wanted to go to San Diego. San Diego chose Ryan over him. Oh, okay. All right. Only showing 3 likes. Oh, thank you, Regina. Thank you, Regina. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shiloh is a musician at heart. In my opinion, he can play that piano. Yes, he is. I think somebody posted it. They said, I think he has a touch of genius. I was listening to him talk. I look at him when he's talking and, he doesn't make a lot of motions or whatever. I say, I do think he is a touch genius. His dad said it. Shiloh can do anything he wants to do. He wasn't kidding. I think he's probably an academic. He not only produces music, he writes it. And yes, he's a pianist and he loves to play music. He's really good at it too. He can act, he can model. I mean, he can snowboard. He can go in any direction he wants to. So I think he really likes the game. That's how I came to that conclusion. Let's see. ESPN is a network that always talks down on Black athletes, and Chase don't like Coach Prime because of his power and arrogant, and certain people's dislike that. Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna take your word for it, 22, because I don't know. I feel like with ESPN there, now I do agree with you're saying in part. I feel like with Stephen A there, I feel like they turned the tide. And I don't want to put this on Stephen A getting a $126 million contract, but that's when the tide turned. So after that, because people had talked about whether it was known or not. I guess it was a best kept in-house secret. And we didn't know this till Monica McNutt of the WNBA told us, Stephen A, you run ESPN. I don't think anybody knew that before then. And then after he got the contract extension, he started bringing in, he had already brought in Shannon. He was going to do that anyway. But then he brought in, what's his name? Cam Newton. And, he calling all the shots. And now, I hear a lot of Coach Prime is my friend. And he redirected Cam Newton, so he can get off Shedeur back. That kind of thing. So it seems that the tide is turning. But I would agree with you. To me, I felt like ESPN was hella biased against Angel Reese. It seemed like they were playing favorites. ESPN during basketball season, that's why I stopped watching the WNBA. I just felt like racism was their marketing strategy, and I didn't want to be a part of that. So I think after Angel got hurt, I was out. But today it was announced that I posted in the community that the WNBA, the Chicago Sky in particular, the Chicago Sky organization is going to play an exhibition game in Brazil, where Camilla is from. And I was like, okay, that's a step in the right direction, but that seems to be done at the team level. So I don't know. We'll see how it go. But I felt like I was emotionally invested last season because of Angel and everybody else. But I felt like from the very jump when she declared for the draft, they put her down. They didn't want her to be number one. They didn't want her to be the best. They didn't want her to be number two. They just tried to really put a lot of distance between her and Caitlin Clark. So when Caitlin came back and said that, look, the WNBA was built off the backs of women, I was like, thank you for saying it out loud. But I felt like she should have said that last year. But I think she was actually being pulled in multiple directions as well, with people trying to, use her as a pawn to basically drive a wedge between the women in the league, to be honest. It says they can keep hating on the Sanders family. They are blessed. Absolutely, Regina. Absolutely. It says, I don't. That's just one person. Queen T, what you talking about? You say, I don't. That's just one person. Miss Mel, it says, yes, they were. They did Angel dirty and disrespectful. Once she got hurt, I was done. See, here's the thing with that. Okay, so I don't know if y'all realize it, but when they announced in their little mock draft that they was dropping her down to number 7, they dropped her down to an organization that didn't even have a training facility. That's how dirty they did her. So when she started doing all these doubles, the crazy part is they really thought when Chicago played Indiana that like the Chicago fan base wasn't going to show up, that Angel wasn't going to show out. They really felt like that series that 23 million people watched, it's like they were shocked. And I say they, the organization, the front office, the league office, it's like they were shocked that people wanted to watch Angel Ann. They thought they could only get those numbers with Caitlyn. So when Chicago, they played the second time and in Chicago, and they got 23 million views, they were shocked. Oh, so people really do like Angel. You knew that because their games were sold out. But the public now knows it too, you know, and that's why I had to distance myself. So I started going to the G League games. Of course, I went to the Atlanta Dream games. I didn't notice anything like that. And then they fired their coach. So, and I just heard that they getting Brittany Griner. I think that's interesting because the game I went to, she was, they were playing the Mercury and she was playing dirty. And I didn't know she played dirty like that. She's something else. That's all I'm gonna say. But I don't know. I'll probably ease my way back into it because I do have some players that I like Arike Obagunwale. Her brother plays for the Texans, and Alicia Gray, she plays for Atlanta. So we'll see. So if y'all like basketball, I'm gonna be right here. It says, okay. So all right, we got 2 more cards left. Let's see. We already at hour. It's 12 of us in here. Y'all hit the like button for me, please. Likes are really big to YouTube. And if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you. And we have memberships coming. If you look in the description of this live, you'll see a membership link. We have 2 levels. Friends of What She Said, which means you'll probably just come and go hang out every now and then. And we have What She Said family. So if you family, consider getting a membership. We do private live streams. There's some perks that go with both levels. So choose the level that you might make you happy. Welcome to the family. All right. So this one right here, I'm going to say that one for last. Okay. I like this one. All right. I feel like y'all should know this one. Okay. The letters are TMHTD. Let me see if I can put that in the chat. All right. So the category is songs and lyrics. All right. So we switching categories. We're going from daily sayings. We're in songs and lyrics. And the letters are, where's Moana? Because she probably going to get it right away. Kiel, you better get your thinking cap on. Let's see. Okay, hold on one second. Let's see. All right. I just put the letters in there. I didn't put them all caps. If somebody want to put them all caps, that's cool. Okay. I feel like y'all should know. Okay. All right. Okay. Here's a clue. Okay. Now remember, this is songs and lyrics. These are lyrics. Okay. A bar, if you will. Let you look at it. Now, you ought to know what it is. I don't know how to tell you the clue. Okay. When you want somebody to school you, what would you say? Or come on now. Look at it. Come on. I know you're going to get it. Okay. The last letter. I'm going to give you a clue. The last letter, when combined with the word fresh. Come on now. It's a popular dance. Queen T, yes, I think ESPN should give whatever he asked for. Oh, Stephen A, whatever he asked for. He's been there for years, and he's a yes guy. He got a little bit more, I don't know. It seemed like he's kind of out of I'm assuming y'all trying to get it. Remember, this is a popular dance. When you want somebody to show you how to do something, it's a popular dance. It seems like to me he's mellowed out. Stephen A, I'm telling you, this $126 million contract extension has him acting different. He acted like a boss, putting Cam Newton in check. He puts some guy in check because his shoes was dirty. He come out, don't come up here like that. somebody tennis shoes was dirty. He went in. I was like, Stephen, and people in the comments like, that's kind of doing too much. You making him like you're trying to sun him. He's talking about, we have a reputation. I guess he want everybody to look nice. Molly looked nice today too, but she was sitting up there like this. I said, I feel like Molly trying to send a message. So Stephen A must have took care of that other issue that was taking place. And because he and Molly's supposed to be like brother and sister. So the lady that said that she was missing Stephen A, I hadn't heard no more from her. So I think he must have quieted that. Y'all didn't get this yet? Come on, y'all. Come on. I know this is a popular dance. You want somebody to show you how to do something. Moana, come on now. I know you got it. Kiel, this is your opportunity. This is your opportunity. This is your opportunity. Miss Mel, you new to the chat. Do you have a guess? Do you have a guess? All right. Does anybody have any questions? We fresh out of topics. We went through all the topics. Teach me how to Dougie. Yes, Regina. Yes. Yes. Teach me how to Dougie. Yay. Okay. All right. Do y'all have anything y'all want to talk about? The floor is open. It's Q&A. Is there a topic? Queen T, you always have some question. We got one last clue before we wrap up for the night. We already 1 hour and 14 minutes in. And yes, Regina got it. Teach me how to Dougie. 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 That was the rhyme. That was the one. Moana, I'm shocked. As you've been killing it. Kiel must be gone. He must be gone. Okay. Yes, Queen T. It said, oh, wow. Yeah, see, y'all sleeping. Y'all got to wake up over there. Wake up. All right, let me see. Y'all don't have any topics. Y'all don't have any topic y'all want to discuss because y'all know I can go find one. Let's see. I'm gonna wait to see if y'all have something. Kiel, are you at work? I can't see your emoji. Let me see if I put it over here if I can see it. I don't know what that says. I can't see that. I don't know what that is. Let's see. I want to bring up Tom Brady and Coach Belichick. What? I don't dance. Good job, Regina. Oh, okay. All right. Queen T, you want to, okay. Wait, what? I want to bring up Tom Brady and Coach Belichick. Okay, go ahead. What's going on? Other than Coach Belichick is now the coach at UNC. And at one point they thought the Raiders were going to hire him. And I guess he's staying at UNC. And they gave him an incentive that if they go to the Pop-Tart Bowl, he gets $350,000. So we're going to wait on you to put your, what you said, what you want to talk about in chat. In the meantime, while you get that together, Kia, your emoji, is that a man? Okay. All right. This is the last one. All right, let's talk about it. Words to live by. I'm pretty sure y'all grandmama said this. You got to know. All right. BSTS. Let me type it into the chat. Okay. I'm making the assumption Queen T is getting together to what it is that she wants to talk about. Okay, so these are words to live by. This is essentially when, like, it's just giving grandmama or mother or father when you trying to get ready to do something and they trying to tell you to be cautious. It's another way of saying be careful. It's another way of saying be careful. Anybody get it? It's simple. Words to live by. What's another way of saying be careful? And it's advice that somebody would give you. Generally, to me, it's something your grandmama would say, or your mom, or your dad, or your auntie, somebody older than you. It's wisdom. It's essentially, this is wisdom. Y'all make sure y'all get the lights up for me too. I can't see them. I just see 9 of us left in here. So, all right. So while we do that, I'm going to see, was there anything else on my little agenda? Let's see. Oh, yes. The spring game was announced. Did y'all know the spring game was announced? Colorado announced the date of its black and gold game. If somebody could Google it, I don't have it in front of me because I don't have my phone in front of me. But the spring game was announced. We can put it in the chat. It's April something for the black and gold game. If somebody can look it up, we'll put it in the chat. That's one thing that was on my agenda. Let's see what else. The spring. Yeah, I guess that was it. All right. It says Queen T. Now this is from Queen T. I read that Coach Belichick is upset because Tom Brady is a part owner of the Raiders. And Belichick said that he spoke to Brady before he signed with North Carolina, UNC. And he feels that he should be what? He feels like he should be what? T, it cut off. He should be what? Sing. Oh, hey, Sing, welcome. Sing Malice. Okay. Shiloh has been getting a lot of Christian criticism lately. What round do you think he gets drafted? The second round, late second. Or does he even get drafted at all? Yes, he gets drafted. He's actually good. Did you see any of the highlights? Sing, did you see any of the highlights? And Kiel said yes. What's the yes in response to? Sing Melis? Sing, can I call you Sing? I hope so. Let me know. Thumbs up. Yeah, he's getting drafted. He's getting drafted. He did get a lot of criticism, but that comes with the territory. If it ain't Shedeur, it's Shiloh. I mean, how many people do you know, 2 children in one family who are athletes of a famous father, and they just get criticized left and right, no matter what they do? Anytime they, are somewhere in a public spotlight and it comes to their skills, not their personality necessarily. That's only Cam Newton with that. They don't talk about their personality. They just talk about they're not good enough. They're not good enough. Or they're really good enough. They're not good enough. This never happens to the Mannings. This never happened to Jason Kelsey or his brother. Not when they were in these. Remember, Shedeur and Shiloh are still in college. They are still in college. They have not touched an NFL field from an NFL player perspective, and people have already. That tells you they just don't want them to make it to that next level. They don't want Coach Prime to get what he wants. Both of his sons in the NFL, and they both are talented. It's okay for the Kelsey brothers. I've never heard anybody say anything negative about Travis or Jason Kelsey in the NFL other than, oh, they're brothers. I even know their mom name. That's how much they talk about them. But when it comes to Shedeur and Shiloh, it's just hate, criticism. They're not good enough. They're not good enough. Better stop the shame. Oh, no. Close, but no, that's good. No, that's not it, 22. I'm going to put it up one more time. This is when somebody tells you, this is another way of saying be careful, but it comes as words of wisdom. Queen T said, consider for the job as head coach for the Raiders. He was considered for the job as head coach for the Raiders. Does he? Hold on. I'm trying to see, because before he signed. Oh, okay. So the timing. So Queen T, you're saying the timing is what he's upset about, because apparently before he signed with Ben, that's right. They had somebody else in the consideration instead of Belichick. I never knew who it was though. Maybe it was Ben Johnson all this time, but I never This is when they were talking about Coach Prime. So Belichick feel like he should have been the head coach. And this was made known before he signed with UNC. And after he signed with UNC, that's when Brady and them decided to look his way. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. And no, it's not Better Stop the Shame, but you close. Be Still this season. Moana, no. No, close. I like that. The close. Instead of Pete Carroll. Okay. Seems like they're going to get Pete Carroll to do whatever they want him to do anyway. And the Raiders were criticized for hiring Pete Carroll because of his age. He's 73. They're like, okay, really? I mean, to me, it's saying that they want a short-term coach. But they went after Ben Johnson, who was a lot younger. So they just, to me, they just grasping at straws. I'm like, y'all just trying to throw anything together. That's the appearance that he gave. It says, yeah, I saw highlights of him at practice, and I will say it didn't look good, but maybe it's just practice and not important. Pete Carroll will be head coach of the Raiders. Yeah. The Raiders were criticized by a lot of people in the media, sports media, who said that was he's 73. That's not a long-term move. And it, to me, it just seemed like the Raiders are grasping at straws. All right. I'm going to give y'all this hint one more time. The first word is better. B. It's another way of saying be careful. Don't go out there and get yourself hurt. Somebody going to get it. I feel it. BSTS. First word is better. Nobody got it yet? It said, but you know Tom Brady is part of ownership. I do know that. Yeah. No, I do. I know that's how I know they're going to trade up to get the second pick from the Cleveland Browns and get Shedeur. Yeah. It says they hate Coach Prime's son because of the dad, and he taught them to be who they are, like their dad. Right. He did. It's just, you know, they don't like Coach Prime because he was confident. Coach Prime been making decisions for himself. He's been an innovator. You know, he played 2 sports at the same time. You know, he had the Falcons trying to sign him to do this and the baseball team trying to sign him to do that. And he was like, I can do both. And he did both. It says, better stop talking SH. No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Okay, here's another clue. All right. If the first word is better, the last word that starts with the S is sorry. You get it yet? Better, sorry. That is funny. That is hilarious, Miss Bell. I posted that. That's hilarious. Y'all didn't get it yet? I'm gonna have to tell y'all this one. Oh wow. No, yeah, somebody gotta get it. I tried. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Okay, so let me tell you the answer. Oh wow. I really thought y'all was gonna get that one. One more time. Better safe than sorry. Y'all never heard that before? Better safe than sorry? That's the answer. Better safe than sorry. This was fun. How many did we do tonight? I think we did 4. Did we do this one? Yep. Teach me how to Dougie. And I'm here for it. So we did. I'm here for it. And we did teach me how to Dougie. And we did better safe than sorry. And lastly, I'm just trying to be like you. That's what somebody says when they want to compliment you. They're like, I'm just trying to be like you. That's okay. That's okay. You got it. You did try, Miss Mel. I appreciate you for hanging out with us tonight. We get ready to wrap up. Let's see, Queen T, what'd you say? It says, no, that might be the plan because Tom Brady and Shedeur have a relationship because he was helping him when he started playing in college. Yes, throw the ball. That's correct. Tom Brady is his mentor. And he used to say when he was in college, when he was playing, you know, he would get into Brady mode. And then Shedeur stepped into his own shoes and said legendary mode. So that's where the legendary comes from. It says I was almost about to get it. 22. I left it there for you. You know, we'll next time. Every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern is game night. And if y'all can tell how the pattern goes, while we're trying to solve the puzzle, we get to have conversations about hot topics. This week's hot topics, breaking news. The NFL was found guilty of collusion when it comes to guaranteed veteran quarterback contracts, quarterbacks involved, or that were named. Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, and Kyler Murray, which is all very interesting. And then we talked about Justin Tucker, you know, how that situation looks like it's being spun and swept under the rug, whereas Deshaun Watson was everything. And just not even 2 weeks ago on this same podcast, I said Deshaun Watson wasn't the only one. And here comes Justin Tucker. And of course, he vehemently denies the accusations. The NFL say they're going to look into it. We shall see. He's not the only one either. So, you know, then we talked about the facility, Chase Daniels versus Shady McCoy, on whether or not Coach Prime should be able to have influence into where Shedeur goes. If it's good enough for the Mannies, it's damn good enough for Coach Prime. What's good for one is good for the other. So, yes. And then we just talked about, Queen T wanted to talk about Belichick and, you know, the situation, the head coaching position down in the Raiders. And he's at UNC. So I hope he does well at UNC. I really do. He might. I don't know them to be a strong football school. Do y'all know UNC to be like a really top tier football school? Maybe every now and then, but not consistently. I know them for basketball. All right, y'all. I guess we're going to get ready to get out of here. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. If you new, maybe Miss Mel, consider subscribing to the channel. We do have memberships. You can check out the link we have 2 levels. You can check out the link in the description of this video. And going forward, I'll put it in all of the videos. You know what? I'm going to put it in this chat too. If y'all want to see, it's only 2 tiers. It's only 2. Friends of What She Said and What She Said family. And the link, you can always go back and replay the chat. If you want the link, it'll be there as well as in the description of all the videos going forward. And I have thoroughly enjoyed game night. I think, you know, we talk, I know we meet every day. There's a live every day. But I think to me, Fridays is the best night because we just get to kick back, laugh, and have some fun and relate to each other. So thank y'all for hanging out for What She Said. Oh, Saeed, welcome back. Y'all welcome back, Saeed, to the chat. Okay. Saeed, you've been there the whole time and didn't say nothing. I'm glad to have you back, sir. Consider getting the membership. I think they start at $2.99 or $3.99. That way, you'll have a membership for the month. Some of the perks are actually like early release of videos, and then for family, it's the live, private live streams. So check it out. Consider becoming a member. It's only once a month, and there's perks. So. All right, y'all. Gracie, Regina, the best duo of moderators out there. I want to say thank y'all for holding it down, getting those likes up. Hit the like button on the way out if you have not already. Please subscribe if you are new to the channel. Saeed, hopefully you already subscribed. Miss Mel and 22, hopefully y'all subscribe. Moana, hopefully we'll see y'all again. Put it on your calendars. Turn your notifications on. Every Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern is game night. So get your culture up. And every day at 8 p.m., make the one that you can. It's not mandatory, but we go live every day at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Keep your notifications on because there might be a breaking news or an impromptu live stream. And if you can make it, we'd love to have you. All right. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Thanks for watching What She Said.